Hey everyone, it is so good to be here. Welcome to my kitchen. It's Judy, your energy chef, and today I wanted to make a simple, nutritious soup that's good for your heart and good for your gut. Here it is, getting cooler out here in the northern part of the country, and when it does, I think of soup. But you know what? I eat soup all year long because once it's made, it's so easy to heat up for a great nutritious lunch. So today I'm going to show you how I like to make it, and you can use any variation that you want. But first, we want to start with our bone broth. And this is actually broth that I made from chicken. So I usually cook whole chickens, and the the bones are left, and I make a broth out of it. And you know, bone broth is so great for gut health. It is one of the most beneficial foods for gut health. And this is kind of cool, so it doesn't really look like broth, but it will when it heats up. And I decided to do it in a bowl today, just so you could see what it looks like. I have my sturdy pan here that I'll put it on the stove with. But butt broth, what am I thinking? Bone broth actually supports gut health, your immune function, your microbiome, healthy inflammation response. There's amino acids in here. There's glutamine. There's arginine in here. If you know me, you know what a love I am for arginine when it comes to heart health. And it really supports gut integrity. You can use any kind of broth. You can purchase a broth. Just make sure about the salt content if you're purchasing a broth or even using a bouillon, because there's a lot of added salts in that. Next, we're going to actually add some super healthy greens. And by the way, the reason I call this 1 cup soup is because it's a cup of all the vegetables and proteins. And you can mix and match what you want. However, I would suggest that you start with kale. Now, I buy chopped kale. And I actually chop the kale some more, and by doing this, I just take my chopped kale. I hope you can see this here. I just take my chopped kale and I squish it up really tight, and then I just re-chop it to make little pieces. So, you know, when I first heard about kale, they said you had to massage it. Oh, dangerous. You had to massage it to, you know, get out all the vitamins, and it tasted bitter to me, and I was not a kale fan. So this is one of the most super healthy greens. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, kale is king of the greens. It's got so many vitamins, nutrients. Has vitamins A, vitamins B, vitamin C, B6. It's got manganese, calcium, copper, potassium. Just amazing. It even has quercetin, which is a cancer preventing thing. But kale helps to lower your blood pressure, and it's antiviral. Big word that you hear a lot about today. And so kale, actually, just to teach you a little bit about kale, it turns the stomach into bile acids, and bile acids actually help the body digest fats. So if you're eating a fatty food, add some kale to the fatty food, and the body will digest the fats a little easier. And the liver turns our cholesterol into these acids, and it's really good for our digestive system. So important, important, important for us to get more kale in your diet. And I have lots of recipes for kale that that are delicious, 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 delicious. So a weight loss friendly food. The next thing that I want to talk about is so very important. I do not substitute cauliflower. This is riced cauliflower. This cauliflower, I just bought it riced. It's a little bit more expensive if you purchase it riced. It was just, I felt like not ricing it. But I do have a machine that I can do that with. It's just, I'm really, really messy, and sometimes it's just simpler. So a cup of cauliflower. So what's the big deal about cauliflower? Well, cauliflower is very high in fiber. It's high in water. It helps prevent constipation. And I know a lot of my clients that I talk to, that's one of the biggest complaints that they have. So we really want to maintain a really healthy digestive tract, get everything moving, and it also has vitamin K. Vitamin K helps with bone health. So as we mature, our bones, you know, we can get some challenges with our bones. So this vitamin K supports bone health. So don't substitute the cauliflower. It's such a great substitute for grains like rice and potatoes, you know, high in cholesterol. This will taste good in the soup, and it will also be absolutely wonderful health benefit. Also, we have vegetables. Now, choose any vegetables you want. Vegetables are going to add fiber. Here I have green beans, and green beans are so delicious. I also just took a fresh carrot out of my kitchen this morning, and I chopped it up and made little squares of carrots, you know, good for your eyes. Everybody knows about carrots. Garlic also is so important. I like to use garlic. You know, Hippocrates used garlic a lot. And I actually use a couple things of garlic here, little cloves, just because it's so good for us. It helps with so many health conditions, and Hippocrates really used it. Also, when you squeeze it, helps you get muscles, and of course, that's always important. So, you know, garlic really combats a lot of sicknesses, and it's been shown to prevent organ damage. So, very, very important. Oh my gosh, that smells so scrumptious. We've talked about the benefits of onions before. Add a cup of onions. Lots of benefits of onions. I like to add a little bit of crushed tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes and chop them. You can use tomato sauce, but tomatoes also have a great amount of health benefits, and add some flavor to this. Oh my gosh, I forgot the celery. I've got some celery down in my garden. I guess I'll add it after. Pick it and add it after. But celery is another amazing gut health with full of vitamins. So celery also gives it an amazing flavor. Now my celery is really strong because I grow it myself, and I don't tie it up and cover it to make it white. It's green, it's rambunctious, it's beautiful, beautiful celery. The next thing that I'd like to talk about is actually the protein. Now, I just happened to make a chicken the other day. I have one of those multi-pressure devices that I can put a whole chicken in, and it's amazing, amazing. But I always have leftovers. And that's a great thing because there's so many recipes that call for leftover chicken or leftover beef. So always making a lot and then keeping those leftovers. This just happens to be chicken. You can do the same. If you use a beef broth, you can use beef in this recipe. That's certainly not a problem. If you do not like meat protein, one of the other things that I like to do, even when I am adding uh, meat protein, is adding quinoa. Now, quinoa is one of the highest protein grains that there is. And quinoa is very, very healthy. It's full of protein. It adds some bulk to the soup. So uh, it's very, very advantageous. That is the soup. So basically, all you have to do now is mix it up. And if you want to add a little bit of spices, some some salt, feel free to do that. Spice it like you like to spice it. But basically, this is it. And I want to show you a finished soup. Unfortunately, it cracked. Um, so I can't show you in a bowl, but my jar cracked. So this is what the soup looks like when it's done. What is great about this soup is that, as you can see, this is more than a lunch. This is more than a dinner and a lunch and another lunch. I love it because I can cook it for lunch today and I'm going to have plenty of leftovers. My 1 cup soup makes about 6 or 8 cups. And if you use a cup of soup for lunch, you've got a week worth of dinners. I like to put it in jars like I just showed you. I close them up and I freeze them so I can have them for a really long time so I don't have to consume them all at once. So anything that you put in here, as long as it's whole food and not prepared food, it's going to be vegetables, protein, bone broth, or another broth to make the soup. It's going to be so healthy for you. So healthy and so absolutely scrumptious. And this took hardly any time, right? Hardly any time. Put it on the stove for about 30 minutes and it's going to be bubbling. It's going to be scrumptious. It's going to smell so good. So it's been so great seeing you today. And thank you for joining. I'm Judy, your energy chef. And just as a reminder, today is a great day to take care of your health. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.